Chess.com is here with Grandmaster Sam Shankland, USA Board 4, but you were very important to your team. How do you feel like you did personally in this overall Olympiad?
I think I did pretty well. I think I ultimately got the score I deserved, even if it came in really weird ways. I mean, this loss to Sutovsky was bizarre. I just lost attention when I should have been an easy draw.
Is it still bugging you, that loss?
Yes, but at the same time, I had no business beating Van Forest. He just dropped a piece in some very defensible position. I think the points came at a little bit weird times, but I think I ultimately got the score I deserved, and I think I came through at very critical moments when it really mattered most.
And we should apprise the viewers, the time of this interview, there are still two games going on, Wesley and Hikaru, so the score is 1-1. We'll see how that plays out. But let me go back earlier in the round. You and Wesley, as you very well know, had the exact same opening for 16 moves, but you were a little bit ahead of him most of that time. So did you know the theory a little better than Wesley, or how can you explain how this happened?
Well, obviously, we prepared this together as a team. I think what happened was Wesley had already played this against Rothstein, and as such, Yang Yi was prepared and Li Chao was not. That's my guess. And I was actually quite annoyed because I thought that Li Chao would just be unprepared, and he certainly looked like it when I played c5, and then I thought that I would probably just make an easy draw, but he could then just wait, look over at Yang Yi, who clearly was prepared, and then he sort of came out of the opening, I think, with even a slight edge, which I really wasn't expecting. But at some point, they deviated, and I thought Li Chao's bishop f4 is probably not as good as bishop g5, but I could be wrong. I think there's always a little pressure on black's position, but it should be holdable.
Can you think of another moment in a team match, such an important match, where two boards were exactly the same and players could just look over a couple boards and copy?
Not off the top of my head. I definitely remember a U.S. championship where I played against Vinay, and I think there was a Yermolinsky-Akobian game that was the same for a long time, and they had to come upstairs and make sure the broadcast was right. But and then there was another U.S. championship where I played the Archangel against Sevillano, and he had just head in his hand staring at the board, and if he literally just looked up at the right at the screen, he sees Kamsky playing white and would have had a good position. But in a team event, I've never seen it. I was actually pretty annoyed that it happened because I thought my opponent was not as well prepared for this line since he wasn't going to expect it the way Yang Yi would. So I was kind of hoping Wesley would get something else, but that's how it goes.
You've had some great Olympiads, of course, the gold in 2014 individually, the team gold last Olympiad, and this year you had some big wins. You won on your birthday, and yesterday you had the win over Hrant Melkumian, which won over Armenia. What did the team say to you after that match?
Not much. We didn't have much time to celebrate. We had another match today at 11 a.m. We had to prepare. I knew I was getting another black, my 5th in 7 games. I just knew I was playing my toughest opponent yet, and I just had to prepare. I mean, I'm sure they were all happy for me, but I don't believe in celebrating until it's all over.
And when you walked your king up to d6, was there any fear yesterday, or you pretty much knew you had it in the bag?
Not really. I mean, once I found this, it's just like I thought it was just winning. I basically thought that if his rook joins the attack, I will get mated, and I could not dream of a way for the rook to join the attack with every file closed, and I own the d file, and his knight is actually getting trapped. I mean, I calculated pretty convincingly, I think, because I was worried if I missed something, I will just get mated, but it really wasn't that hard.
For the first time in 7 Olympiads, Hikaru Nakamura sat out one of the final 3 rounds. Was there any question in your mind that John Donaldson would insert him back into the lineup today?
No, well, I certainly knew that he was going to play today because part of our meeting session preparation was saying, look, if Hikaru rests, he's going to prepare a lot for white in the last round and try to make it count. And right now I like his position. I don't want to jinx anything, but who knows if he's going to win or not, but I think our strategy thus far has worked.
Yeah, how fitting would it be if the guy that had a really not subpar tournament, only an even score, if it all rests on his shoulders?
Well, I think if there's anybody who can take a disaster in stride, keep their head on straight, and finish strong, it's Hikaru. And I have faith that he will play well in the rest of this game, and I'm hopeful that he will win the Olympiad for us with it. I recall at the U.S. Championship, he had a horrible event for a long time, and then in the last 3 rounds, he really woke up. He held Caruana with black, which actually was the game that let me win the tournament. He was even winning at that game. He crushed Akobian, and he held Wesley with black. If anyone can recover from a horrible event, it's him, and I have faith that he's going to play well today.
And lastly, in 2016, when you guys won Team Gold, it was you that hoisted the trophy at the ceremony. I'm not sure if you were just the first to grab it or what, but are you going to be the one to grab it again if USA wins gold?
I will happily volunteer for the task. John asked me to last year, and he did not have to wait very long for me to say yes. I'll happily do it again, but if someone else wants to, that's also fine. You win as a team, you lose as a team, and I don't think any individual should be basking in their glory too much. But if someone has to hold it, I'm happy to do it.
Well, we'll see who gets the Kodak moment. Thanks so much, Sam Shankland, and we'll see how the gold medal plays out.
Thank you.